Oh, milkshake. How I long for you. So
Just do a cold open like that.
well, look, I'll take it. Back again with Kermideus, the King Kong of Dreams, to my Godzilla, and we decided to make a part 2 for our conversation. I had mentioned on our last featurette how I had feared for the outcome of Dreams, and I wanted to clarify, like, first and foremost, as another Dreams friend, MC Alchemist, put it, the game is out. So what we've been given as a community for, creators beyond anything else that's been dropped in gaming to me, like, nothing, if nothing else changes with updates or anything, the goal for me and creators like me and Kermideus is we're just going to continue to make dope stuff, like, from here on out. So Dreams is the pinnacle of gaming in my mind, and I want to say first and foremost, like, that's how I feel. Now, having said that, it's only natural in my support of Dreams that I do want it to continue to grow and be financially perceived as a success by the industry, so that it continues to get support, not just from a fan base, but from Sony, who hasn't had the best last 2 weeks of PR with current decisions. But, all that comes into play, as said, with the last discussion we had with sharing and what that gives to the community, and laying out the groundwork for those that come after us. The idea that we were the early adopters, and it'll be an easier road for those that come after us if we have a sharing community. And I've seen people come into Dreams and then run into that wall of, most of us would be like, yeah, game creation, art, 3D modeling, music, it's hard. Like, it's not an easy endeavor. It's not something you're just like, oh, I woke up today and I'm good at it. So, like, having a blueprint to get over that initial hump is beneficial, and that's how it fits into the whole thing with sharing, and not on purpose or accidentally, like, gatekeeping the platform. And so it always disheartens me when I see somebody online that's like, I give up. Like, I just read an article, Jesus Christ, a tweet, or I've seen tweets, I've seen people make grand proclamations in, like, Facebook Dreams. They're just like, you know what, I'm done. I just don't have the knowledge to make this game, and I really wanted to, but I think it's over for me in Dreams, and that hurts me. That makes me feel ways. Because I'm stubborn. So, like, I can't get to that point, but I know what it feels like to feel like you failed at something you really wanted to do. I think all artists do. Yeah. So like, I mean, how do you approach this topic as it's been laid out ever verbosely by me?
I mean, honestly, like, I've been here since beta, and I feel like the same of, like, I'll look at, other creators and just, like, shocked and, like, how did they do that? And so I can only imagine, like, that the hurdle that other people would have to feel, coming in, like, completely cold, like, having never done this before. But it's like kind of what we talked about last time, like you were saying, it's like, that's, I feel like, why it's important to share, is because giving new creators a head start is so important, because we want the community to grow. That's the end goal, because this community lives and dies by its community. Like, well, this game lives and dies by its community, but the community dies by itself too. So we all got to keep it going on our own.
Yeah. I mean, do you find yourself hiccuping, just as a side note, like, whenever you try to say Dreams and you're like, it's, this game, and then do you get that moment where you're like, this isn't a game?
Yeah, it's because it's like, how do you define it?
I've been getting used to defining it as a creation suite.
Okay, yeah, because to some people completely outside of Dreams who've never heard of it, have no familiarity with it, I sometimes even refer to it as an engine, something like that. It's like, you can create stuff in it, like, I don't know. It's like, it's because if you say it's a game, people, in a sense, they think less of it. They don't really think about the possibilities of creativity.
Yeah, it's like old school when you people used to be like, yeah, I read comics, and it's like, oh, nerd. Like, you immediately get this negative connotation to it. But yeah, I've been getting used to call it a creation suite, or I have heard creation engine before, but I think that kind of plays into this, because when according to Media Molecule, when they first put this out, they weren't really sure how to market it. And one of the biggest conversations in the Dreams community since it's launched is like, people are like, what's up with the marketing? And we've had recent interviews with members of Media Molecule where they said that, because of that, they kind of wanted to get people in and creating and everything, and then focus on getting a player base later. And
that was always a given.
Yeah, and see, and that's kind of where my worry stems from, though, is because I always think of that, that person that comes in that sees your creations, that sees Bad Robo, Martin Nebelong, MC Alchemist, like Ghost Fruit, all of you who are just amazing creators, and then you run into that wall where you're just like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm gonna do it, and then you realize there's gonna be a time disparity between when when you're able to do something of that magnitude. And I don't know, like, I'm not trying to say that it falls on Media Molecule to even think of those people, but it is something that worries me as a person who wants to see. I want to see Media Molecule win every award. Now they've won a lot, and I mean they just won the Dice Award, or a Dice Award, like 2 days ago, and like I don't know, like that's to bring it back. That's why I think the whole sharing aspect and not gatekeeping really anything in the platform is beneficial. And to give that word of advice, if anybody who's been interested in Dreams comes across this video, and that hump that you hit, that's the learning pains, like the growing pains. That's the stuff that you have to go through to get good. And it's going to take a minute. Don't think that you're just going to jump up and automatically day one be able to do the things that you see that inspire you. But let them continue to inspire you to get better. And I really just think that's an important distinction to make for people stepping in. Like, it's, I'm not, as countless times I talk about how I'm not good at stuff.
Now, you're too modest.
Look. It's compared to the giants that I know, it's always going to be that way. But some people hit that wall, and they're just like, oh, I can't be as good, I'll go put my time into something else. Whereas me, I'm the guy that you hope is there, who's too stubborn to quit, who will put himself in the grave trying to get as good as the people that I idolize on the platform. And so yeah, I really wanted to reiterate that, sharing and helping the platform grow, even with things that sometimes you want to keep close to the chest, is very important. And it's not just so that like, I feel like we got in a tiff the last episode, the last featurette. Not a tiff like we were at each other's throats, but I'm not sure if we really, if a point was understood, and that was the idea that Or we were both saying the same thing, and I think we were saying it in different ways. But anyway, the idea that that even if you give someone that thing that's close to your chest, it's not gonna be the exact same thing as your thing.
Oh, for sure. Well, I think what's important, which I don't think has been brought up just yet, is it's also important that in general we try to help out others in the community. Like, for example, even something as simple as just giving advice to new creators. Because, I know one of the big tips that a lot of creators give to upcoming creators is to start small. Because pretty much everyone that got into Dreams, we all had huge ideas of these massive things we wanted to create until realizing, oh no, that actually takes work. That's actually going to take some effort.
Yeah.
So, hearing that from other creators later on is like, oh, it's best to just kind of like tackle one thing at a time. Like, don't try to overwhelm yourself with a lot of stuff. That's helpful. So that's a way that we can help others trying to come into the community. Just because I think as you said, we've gone through all these hurdles. We've done these challenges. So it's, in a way, we're not obligated to, but I still feel like it's our duty to prevent them from having to go through those same hurdles. Because we can help that. We can stop that.
I mean, they're gonna have hurdles of their own, no matter what.
And, but they don't need to go through. They don't need to go through ours, though.
Yeah,
like
we already need to go through all of them.
Yeah, like they don't need to figure out like how to recenter their imp. Like we could tell them that if they need to remember.
Well, the game will make sure that they know how to recenter that imp.
But you know what I mean? There's like stuff like that where it's like someone who's never played it before doesn't know those things.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff, I feel like that's the kind of stuff that doesn't get covered as much of like some of the basics. Because, you see it when you're playing, but, you remember there's a lot of stuff we still had to kind of figure out for ourselves.
Oh, yeah. I'm still figuring them out. That's it.
Exactly.
I mean, and I just want to take a moment because I feel like we have reached the end of this part of the conversation with many more to come. And as the people who are watching this, they're watching fruit salad.
Oh,
I just want to say, like, you may not think this, but the one thing that one of the things that I really like about your approach to Dreams is that you have the ability, like, even though you constantly call your one stream animations, you say they're horrible, like World War P, the final coup. And
I mean, we're seeing them. I mean, I don't need to say it again. You could see.
No, see, but the thing is you think they're crap. I know how hard it is to do this. Even as simple as it appears to you. I know how hard it is to do this, and to do it within the span of one stream. Like you're basically encapsulating that thing you just stated about how, start small. It's literally my biggest problem. 'Cause every idea I've wanted to make for God knows how long. And now I have the ability to do it. So all these things I want to do turn grandiose. And so I just want to really, put it in there for first-time dreamers, people that are just coming in. One, watch Kermideus' stream. He'll teach you a lot of stuff. But also, like, it's right. Like, it's hard for me to break down. Like, I will bang my head against the wall until I get the big thing done. But like, it really is beneficial to take that bit of advice that he just blessed us with, which is start small. You may think, I want to make this game, and this game is going to have this sprawling story, or I want to make this RPG, blah, blah, blah. Okay, start with a tree. Can you make a tree?
Well, what else too, though? What actually, and this is because I went through that of, the grandiose idea had to be simplified. And there were, like, in my case, there was stuff like mechanics that I had no clue how to do, so I couldn't do those projects. But through making other small stuff, I would learn something. Every single project, I learned something, which I can then use for the next project. So I think that's why it's also so important to emphasize starting small, because you have, if you start with this big thing, you're going to have all these problems to tackle. But as you make stuff, you'll inadvertently just kind of solved those issues without even realizing it until later on was like, oh wait, I do know how to do this now. And that's kind of cool when you get to that point. But that's always, that's just through trial and error and a lot of practice. And I think that goes with like anything. It's always about practice.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you the little things that you do for like stretch. I still don't have any clue how you like. I love the swing mechanic, by the way.
Thanks.
And that's something that a lot of people have been trying to do and do well. And
which it is public, by the way. There's a character called Little Imp that has the swinging mechanic in there.
Awesome. I was not aware of that.
Yeah, just gotta shout myself out real quick. If anyone wants to use it for themselves, there's that's available.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, after this I'll put it in the I'll put a link to the In Dreams in the caption for the video or in the information for the video. But yeah, so anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to all I wanted to get out and talk about, and I'm glad once again to be joined by Kermideus, and we're gonna have to do one more episode at some point because I need to know where this name comes from. I need to know what caused the rebirth of Mr. Wushi to Kermideus. I need to know.
I'll try to condense that to 15 minutes because that's a long one.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Well, hey, who's to say we can't have a long episode every now and again? Yep.
There you go.
There we go. So, thanks again for joining us. I hope everyone has enjoyed this, and check out. Wait a minute. One second. I'm sorry to keep dragging this out. Have you changed your YouTube name as well, or is it still under Wushi? Because I thought it was still under Wushi.
The YouTube thing's been kind of stagnant for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm not really plugging that because of that.
Okay.
That's probably something to cover in the next thing when I go over the name stuff. That's a big part of it too.
Okay. All right. Well then, we'll get that information later. Now, once again, for the third outro, thanks again for joining me. It is so hard to say goodbye and enjoy our time together. But anyway, that's I really do though. But guys, no matter how hard it is, keep dreaming. Stick with it and listen to the words of Kermideus. Take it easy. Keep it small. Grow and learn gradually. Right? That's
Amen.
It. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Catch you next time. Solo Imp or Simps out.
Bye-bye.